Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Always so happy to find you here. I upload on Mondays and Thursdays, so please subscribe. And when you subscribe, you'll be notified when I have uploaded new content for your view. And of course, my pleasure. It is my pleasure. Then I upload on special occasions such as this one, when I feel that there is an event or occurrence that I would like to address or offer my input, such as this one. I am wanting to preface this. That is, I'm sure I'm going to do a two-part on this. That would be part one, which is this one, before Gospel of Inclusion, and then part two, after Gospel of Inclusion. And there behind me, you have the topic of my subject matter, which is the handsome, very handsome, uh, Carlton Demetrius Pearson, Bishop Carlton Demetrius Pearson, who on this past Sunday, November 19th, received what we in Black America, African Americans, we say received his wings. And in Carlton's world, he always said transitioned home. So on Sunday, rest in peace. I am choosing to offer my views based on my observation of his Christian walk and also my experience with him to the limited degree that I did have. And so, having said that, I'm wanting to remind us what my channel is all about. And when we make our comments or like or dislike something, then we do it respectfully and compassionately and with grace, love, and mercy. And so let's just be reminded of that. So having said that, hello all. I am introducing to some, reminding others, and reacquainting others of the wonderful Bishop Carlton Demetrius Pearson, who would often say, I received my calling when I was 4 years old. I knew that I was going to be a pastor. I knew I was going to be a bishop when I was 4 years old. And certainly he has been one memorable one rare, one unique, one wordsmith, one funny, one charismatic, one awesome, one wonderful man of God. And that's my point of view. So I will say this, a little history for him. He grew up in San Diego, California, which is so about 200 miles from me here in Long Beach, until he was 18 years old. And then he went onward, where I say he moseyed on over to Oral Roberts University, and was very, very well received there, almost like Oral Roberts would call him my other son. He was in love with Carlton, and Carlton was in love with him. Carlton served on the university's Board of Regents for 15 years. He later founded a church in 1977 called Higher Dimensions, and that church had over 5,000, 6,000 members. He created a conference called the Azusa. Now, to me, I used to call Azusa Fireball because it was just on fire. But Carlton started the Azusa Conference at Oral Roberts University, and it would last for a week. And in a week's time, it would gather as many as 50,000 attendees. And the mind of administration, the mind of organization, the mind of bringing people together was a very unique, precious talent, in my view, that he had naturally. To put together the Azusa Conference was phenomenal. And I attended the Azusa Conference for many years. And all I can say is, bar none, there's no other Christian conference that I've attended, even close to it. It was on fire. It was a time, it was a spiritual season. He was a door opener for many names that we know now that I believe you probably wouldn't have known had he not opened the door. He was a door opener. He turned the key. He unlocked the door. He invited you in. He passed the baton. He made a way for you to be on a platform bigger than you had ever been on before that time. Yes, bigger than you had been on before that time. And so for that, he was impactful. He was impactful. Carlton Pearson could walk in the room and you could feel the shift of the room. Yes, you could feel it. The Spirit was with him. And when he sang, it would move you. He could move a room. He could, what they say, work a room, but he was also in the Spirit. As a wordsmith, he would break down a word to its origin, almost as if the word had a chromosome and a skeleton, and he was dissecting that word. He would tell you what the history of this word is and how it related spiritually, biblically, and unto you as a person. I've never seen anyone else so unique in that way. He was just that. But he would make it in such a way that it was comical to hear him. As he would talk about, he would say, Mama Nam, and Mama Nam go say it, break it down, where he would talk about in the kitchen cooking greens, and we're doing this, and y'all not going, we're gonna be done here in a minute. Y'all can wait for a minute. You ain't gonna do nothing but go home and eat your chicken and have some greens anyway. And he would just make it so funny, as if you would like laugh your way to stay in service longer, but you didn't want to leave anyway, because it was wonderful. And he was very, very gifted at that. Very gifted. But he knew how to read a person, how to understand a room. He was counsel to many United States presidents from 1974 to 2002, prior to Gospel of Inclusion. So there he had, 74 to 2002, 74 was who? Jimmy Carter was 77. So Gerald Ford to Bill Clinton. He was advising, praying, counseling, assisting by way of telephone presidents of the United States. He was just a dynamic man of God, in that he could build conferences, build a career, counsel presidents, open doors, pray you through. At the conferences, he would always encourage. He was a great encourager. He would say, turn to your neighbor and come on, encourage somebody, help somebody, pray somebody, touch that. I mean, you would feel it. The fire was there. He would set the room on fire. He coached and developed many pastors who now today run mega churches. He was always a phone call away to them. And he was extremely, very high dimension, just like his church's name. And I would encourage you, if you are not acquainted with the Azusa Conference, they're all uploaded on YouTube now. Go and watch the conference on YouTube and see what a wonder was in the room. You will also see many big name gospel singers, big name gospel choirs now, big name mega church pastors from years ago. So that everybody look how young they look, from years ago, participating in a conference that was spearheaded by this wonderful, handsome man of God, who he said, I got my calling when I was 4 years old. And boy, did he. And we're blessed to have learned from him, from having been in conference with him, from having had books written by him, gospel albums sung by him. He was a wonderful man of God. And he would often say, I feel the Spirit of the Lord. I feel the Lord speaking to me, since he was a young child. And for that, what presence we saw in him. Elegant, royal, dimensional, touchable, reachable, real, charismatic. Nothing phony about this man. Now, these are my words. These are my observations. These are my experiences. I'm talking about him as a person in his purpose. I am not saying how a person may view his transitional ministry. I'm talking about him as a deliverer of souls, an impactful person, a door opener, a fair man, a loving man, a person who gave from his soul, through his spirit, through your heart, and through your home. What a wonderful contribution he was as a man. And for that, I'm just sharing what I knew of him. And I will final with this. I will end on this note. I usually attend the Azusa Conference, and I always bought the books, or, it would be so many pastors there with their books. I would buy them and order the tapes. And you can see even here, there's a Carlton. Look, oh, that is. This is a cassette tape. This is a cassette tape from years ago. But at any rate, one year, it had to be 96, I believe. I was on vacation when the Azusa came here in Southern California. So I ordered the tapes. And I ordered just the tapes for here in Southern California. But what was delivered was the entire Azusa as it traveled across the states. Like a big box came to me. I said, I'm only going to get a couple of tapes. A big box was delivered. So I said, oh my God, I got to return this. So I contacted them and I said, oh, you sent me everything. I only ordered these two. And it was like, the invoice was in there. Like, it was like $700. But my order was maybe $50. I needed to send it back. That's what I felt like. I was like, I don't know what I feel like. And I said to them, I will be sending them back. I think you mixed my order, or I got someone else's order, and I'm going to send it back. Should I take out what I ordered? Or do you want me to send the whole thing back? I was asking. And then you just send me I just wanted to do the right thing. Do the right thing. I received a courtesy note from Carlton, signed by Carlton Pearson. And it said, receive your blessing. Take it. Just keep it. Receive it. That touched me. I never forgot that. I still have it now. I don't know what I'm playing on now because it was VHS. Those were those like VHS recorders, the big boxy. I don't think I have anything to play it on, but at that time, I was telling everybody. I went to church and it was like, oh my God, it's happening. Look, I got a notebook. I was more excited about the little note. It was like a little card that he signed. He signed it. And it said, receive your blessing. So, I watched all of them. I watched all across the United States with this box. It took me like weeks to watch it all. And I kept getting more and more stirred by the Azusa Conference. It's like none other. Even to this day, there's no other conference, and I've attended many, that even comes close to the Azusa. And in my opinion, there's no other man in the way that Carlton Pearson is the man of this rare, gifted person who has experienced their life in the way that he has. There's none other that I know of today or in history that experience their spiritual purpose in the way that he has. And for that, I'll follow up with part 2 to help you understand what I mean by that. But the gift, like he said, receive your blessing and be grateful for having it. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this short. I will follow up part 2 with tomorrow, and be blessed. Rest in peace, Bishop Carlton Pearson. We'll see you. Good night.